Hey guys, it's your girl Trey. Hey, and prayers up to Tamar Braxton, who recently took to her social media pages to let people know that she almost passed away on Sunday. And it was because she was found with a pool of blood, broken teeth, just bruised up, I guess, from falling. She didn't really address what happened, but if you fall out somewhere and you're found, it can't be good. So we're definitely sending prayers to her and her family. Hopefully this is not something that is permanent and that she can make a full recovery from. But in the meantime, we'll definitely be sending prayers.
Something in the timeline snapped today. Tamar Braxton wrote a few sentences that felt like a siren. She almost didn't make it. A friend found her in a pool of blood. Her face is fractured, teeth gone, body shaken, voice thin. The scariest part? She says the memory is blank. No scene, no cause, just pain, confusion, and a soft request. Pray for me. That's the entire picture we're allowed to see, and yet it's enough to make the internet hold its breath, because when someone as loud, talented, and stubbornly alive as Tamar says, "I barely made it," it rearranges the room. We all want to know the missing pieces. We all want to fast forward to the safety. But tonight, we start exactly where she put us, right in the middle of the shock. And here's the plan. No rumor roulette, no wild accusations. We'll unpack what we do know, trace the patterns we can see, and protect the parts we shouldn't touch. Then we'll ask a harder question. What does choosing peace actually look like for someone who's been famous longer than most of us have had the same phone number? Let's sit with the uncertainty for a second, because that's the truth no one wants. There's a hole in the timeline. She doesn't remember. There's trauma to the face, there's blood, and there's a friend who walked into the worst scene imaginable, but causation? Unknown. When your mind erases the film, people rush to write the script for you. Don't let them. There are only 3 broad lanes: accident, medical, or malice, and none of them can be proven by comments, vibes, or old screenshots. An unseen fall, a sudden medical crash that makes gravity the villain, or someone else's hands where they never should have been. Those are possibilities, not verdicts. If you love her, honor the boundary she drew. Pray for me, not solve me, not speculate me. Pray, then wait. Here's what people forget about public figures. They don't live inside phone screens. They live in parking decks, in lobbies, in driveways, and late-night elevators. And danger doesn't ask for autographs. Over the last few years, Tamar's perimeter has been tested more than once. A car burglary that left her staring at damage and footage instead of sleep, and a home break-in by someone she knows, the kind of betrayal that makes even your couch feel like a stranger. Are those incidents directly linked to what happened now? We don't know, and we won't force a connection. But your nervous system doesn't care about legal logic, it catalogs feelings. After enough scares, your body starts living 2 seconds in the future, always bracing, never exhaling. And bodies under siege make mistakes, get sick, and sometimes simply run out of buffer. There's a moment from 2020 that changed how many people talk about Tamar. Not the memes, not a stage, a confession. She said the pressure had stacked so high she considered checking out. She felt embarrassed on TV, disconnected at home, and crushed by a role she could no longer play. That admission took the story out of the tabloids and put it in the emergency room. Because once someone says, "I didn't want to be here," you stop treating them like entertainment and start remembering they're a person held together by breath and willpower. Since then, she's talked about rebuilding, body first, mind next. That order matters. Anyone who's crawled out of a mental fog knows healing isn't linear. It's loops and backtracks. Headlines don't help. Neither do strangers declaring what you should feel on a Tuesday afternoon. Add romance and the plot thickens. If you've been online at any point in the last few years, you've seen the roller coaster with Jeremy J.R. Robinson, the heart eyes, the public break, the try again, the accusations, and clapbacks. Even a claim that a hotel room got booked with her plastic for someone else's plans. Keyword, claim. When love turns courtroom, everybody loses something: money, pride, or the right to have a boring Tuesday. What I'm saying is simple. Heartbreak isn't just sad, it's stressful. Stress changes sleep, appetite, immune response, everything that keeps your body upright. Stack that on top of cameras, expectations, and a comment section trained to find your softest rib. And you'll understand why a lot of very strong people end up with very sudden health crises. Then there was the day she said something that made a lot of folks blink. She's on PrEP, the daily mad that lowers HIV risk. Half the internet clutched pearls. The other half said, good, normalize prevention. And honestly, that second half had a point. Where she went next made the message bigger, partnering with health voices and festivals to educate, especially for Black women who've been left out of prevention conversations for too long. Why bring that up tonight? Because it shows a pattern we can celebrate, choosing transparency even when it stings, saying, I protect myself in a culture that loves to shame women for the very same choices it applauds in men is an act of self-respect. And that's the thread I want to pull. The right to choose you loudly. Tamar isn't just a voice, she's a resume. Singer, host, reality staple, full-time headline. There's a grind to that. Cities, cameras, call times. Adrenaline becomes a diet. You run on applause and caffeine and texts that start with urgent until your body declares a bank holiday. It's not that she's reckless, it's that the machine is hungry. If you don't build a fence around your peace, it will eat everything. Sleep, softness, sanity, and then ask for seconds. Tonight feels like a bill coming due. The face is hurt, the body is tired, the memory is fogged. That's not a scandal, that's a warning light. And if there's any gift inside a night like this, it's that warning lights are hard to ignore. Let's zoom back to the facts we're allowed to hold. She says she almost didn't make it. A friend found her in a scene no friend should ever see. Her injuries are real: face, teeth, movement, and she's focusing on physical healing first, mind next. She asked for prayers, not press conferences. That's the edge of the map. We don't get more yet, and that's okay. If you care about her, match her energy. Keep the empathy high and the theories low. If you've never suffered memory gaps after trauma or illness, count your blessings and don't borrow a microphone to judge the people who have. Underneath the shows in the shade is a mother who talks about her son like he's the center of the compass. The way she posts scripture reads like someone holding onto a rope across a fast river. Healing, when you strip away the internet glitter, is boring and private. It's early bedtimes and boundaries. It's saying no to parties you used to attend out of habit. It's changing numbers. It's picking who gets to knock on your door and who only gets to like a photo. A lot of us want the cinematic comeback. The better ending might be quiet. The kind where she disappears for a while, then returns not with a drama update, but with a dull, steady piece that doesn't need applause. So here's the question that makes people squirm. How much of someone's survival do we feel entitled to consume? She opened the door an inch by asking us to pray. We can keep vigil outside, or we can try to pry it open with guesswork. One choice is love. The other is hunger dressed as concern. I'm choosing love. If new facts arrive, we'll handle them with the same care. Until then, let this story breathe. Let her breathe. And if you do pray, add this: peace in the body, peace in the mind, and a circle of people who treat her like a person, not a plot.